the little tab out of the way. Okay, congratulations, guys, on the upcoming release of Reply. In 5 words, how would you describe the short film?
Oh boy. Mike, you go see first.
Nostalgic and cute while pretty.
Oh, I love that.
I like that.
I think nostalgic, cute, wholesome, um,
and love.
And love.
And love.
I love that. You guys give this film some amazing direction, and the acting from your two leading women is phenomenal. So I wanted to ask, what was it like watching Ava and Sierra bring your characters to life?
Oh my gosh, it was insane. So like I wrote the script with them in mind. So I was like really hoping that they would say yes, and when they said yes, it was like I remember rehearsals, first day of rehearsals with Ava and Sierra. They did the first scene, and I was like, oh shit, perfect. Like it was insane, and it was just like, I don't know, I feel like they embody what I wanted those characters to be, and also, honestly, the film, which is charming but in a warm way, and I think they're both that, and I think that they're both so talented, and my favorite part of the whole experience was working with them, and seeing these characters I came up with in my head like have a heartbeat. It was unreal.
I also took note of the music while I was watching it. I thought the music was so good. So I wanted to ask, what was the process of selecting the music like for Reply, and what kind of music are you trying to go for?
Yeah, thank you so much. Music, like, because I did YouTube for years, and music was always like how I started making my videos. I would have the music laid out first, and so when this is my first short film, I like, for me, like the music was super important, and I had known Adam Melcher, who sings Begin Again in the film, so like kind of like wanted to like keep it like within like my scale of people I can like maybe ask to use their song, but I'm also just a huge Adam Melcher fan, so that's where his song came to play. And then like the others were just through like, those are like the songs that I listen to. I kind of listen to indie pop, and I kind of wanted this film to be a representation of me, and so yeah, that's how I found them. And they were actually, those songs were written into the script, so I had the flow of it before even like shooting, and like so yeah, appreciate that you like the songs, because the songs were very important to me, and they were a hard thing to get the licensing for, but got it done.
We're on very similar wavelengths with music tastes. I have one question for Elle and then one for Michael. But Elle, I know this is your first short film, but you've done a lot of iconic YouTube videos in the past, and you just did a music video for Joshua Bassett. So how many things were you able to take from these prior experiences and apply to this film? And how many new things did you still have to learn while making it?
Yeah, prior things was like, I guess, like story. I feel like that's something I knew going into it. I'm like, I don't really know what I'm doing. Like that's always something that was holding me back from really getting into directing, was like my lack of experience of like the technical side of things. So like, but going into it, I knew I was passionate. I knew that I knew how to tell a story. And so I felt confident in that, and that I had like a lot of excitement. And so I don't know, I feel like also I feel like I'm a good leader when I need to be. So I was holding on to that, but what I learned was honestly through Michael Murphy right here. He's been doing writing and directing and producing years prior to me doing it, and so having him like guide me and like answer all my questions, and like honestly the whole experience was a learning process. Like I really just jumped into the deep end and was just trying to stay afloat. Yeah, winging it. Yeah, just having people around me who I feel like everyone on a set was super down to teach. And I feel like I was really upfront about that. I was like, I don't really know everything, but I feel like everyone was super down for that. And it was very much a passion project.
I was gonna say, yeah, Michael, on the other hand, you made a plethora of short films in the past. Dead Wonder is like a more recent one that I really loved. So specifically with Reply, what was the moment on set where you realized that this film was going to be something really special?
I think it was kind of this like process throughout. The answer kind of came to fruition slowly but surely, and then by the end we were just 100% sure. I think it was something, my intention going into this and knowing that this was Elle's first short and that this was obviously something that was going to be a very memorable experience, but also B was going to be something that really represented her as a filmmaker. I really wanted to build a team around her of people that not only understood the film and understood her and really mashed what she was, trying to do, but I think also that were experienced and knew how to operate on a set that I knew of that scale and what it was going to be. And I think it just ended up being perfect. I can't say it enough, but this was the most perfect set I've ever been on. We were wrapping early. We were throwing birthday parties during lunch. We had extended lunch. There was just so many things that we were able to do because the entire set was so well padded and put together that I think that was something that just throughout the process and normally where you would hit bumps on most productions, we weren't hitting them. And that kind of was that slow realization of, oh my God, this is really great. And then we wrapped and we were like, oh my gosh, we're all crying a little.
Mm-hmm.
I love an extended lunch. I just wanted to say this short film, I was taken aback by how many like themes and questions were popping up in my head. One thing that I really thought about at the end was like the US is at like a 50% divorce rate or something like that now. And kind of like the lack of belief in true love these days. But maybe like who we end up with isn't really our true love because of like these societal expectations and pressures. So I wanted to ask like what your intention was behind structuring the film to be from the perspective of a son whose mother is divorced.
Yeah, I mean, my parents, I feel like I was surrounded growing up. I feel like every single marriage that I was surrounded with ended up in divorce. And I do think it's interesting because I do think I'm like a hopeless romantic, and also my brother, to be honest, too. I think we're both very just like, I love romance films, and so I don't know. I think I think subconsciously, honestly, I think in hindsight, I kind of noticed that because I do think I resonate with Sam the most out of all the characters in the film. Kind of this idea of like true love does exist, and so yeah, I think that's how it came to play. And I think, I don't know, love is very bittersweet, and I think that's kind of what my approach was, because I do feel like just life in general, that's how I see life. It's both beautiful and sad, and I think that's something to embrace. So
well, congratulations, guys. Thank you so much for speaking to me today, and I'm sending nothing but positive energy both your ways.
thank you so much. Likewise.
Bye.
Bye.